Hey guys, it's me Erasmus and welcome to some devlog of Jonos 2.x. Okay, let's see what I have done since the last devlog. Fuck dude, I don't even know, it's so long ago. Yeah, I've implemented a voting system that I wrote for the old project and it had some issues, mostly a logic mistake that I used pretty long on figuring out, but at least now everything is working fine. Then I have written the match manager scripts. They still need some adjustments, but I would almost say it already works better than in the old version. I have also made some in-game UI like scoreboard and stuff, but it's just for prototyping, so I can see if everything works with the scripts. Everything UI related later be replaced by the UI from our UI designer OfficerYoda, and here are some of his UI designs so far. And yeah, as you can see, this is going to be awesome. He really knows what he's doing when it comes to UI design. Okay, so far I've added a few more sound effects and also visual effects. Even though I still suck with the visual effects graph and need to learn more about it, but actually the impact effect that I first thought didn't really look good at all actually looks kinda good, in my opinion. I also tried to improve the muzzle flash a little bit, and it looks a lot better now, but it's still not perfect, so it still needs some adjustments. As you probably can see, I still don't fully understand Unity's visual effects graph, so it's something I will have to look a little bit more into at some point. Then I also started working a little bit more on the map. I imported some of the buildings that I originally made for the old version and tried to make some new stylized trees in Blender. And I think I will improve the hand-painted texture at some point. For now they look good enough and way better than in the old version. Speaking of textures, I've actually made my own stylized grass texture for the terrain. I made it in Blender. I just made some grass and rendered it from above in orthographic mode. And then also made a normal map, and I find it looks pretty good. Of course I will add some 3D grass at some point, although I will need to figure out an approach that doesn't cause too much lag and still looks good first. Because the Unity grass paint system doesn't work with high definition render pipeline. And even if it would work, you have to do a lot of magic with it to actually get good results and get away without lag. Another thing I've done so far is adding human ragdolls, always one of the more fun parts of game development. Anyways, there are now a few game modes with humans that work more or less, and I've also already done some testing, some gameplay, and it seems like humans compared to drones are really overpowered. So I either need to nerf the humans a bit or just buff the drones in a way. One idea was giving them more HP and let them move faster, although I'm a bit afraid if I let them move faster it will cause additional rubber banding, which would be bad. Anyways, I've given the humans a tiny nerf by adding some recoil. Playing as a human is really fun right now, regardless if you play against other humans or against other drones. Drones of course don't really have a chance against you if you have some experience. Drones can be fun too to play as, but not really against humans, since it's almost impossible to hit humans, and as a drone you're a much easier target for the human, even though they have recoil and you have not. Anyways, as I said, humans are really fun to play right now, so I don't really want to change how they work. So yeah, I will have to buff the drones in some way, by giving them more HP, maybe let them deal more damage, or also let them move faster. Yeah, so we'll have to do some more testing and see how that works out. But for one game mode they are perfect right now, for the drones vs humans wipeout mode, where most players start as humans and maybe one or two drones, and then they will have to survive until a rescue force comes to pick them up. And if they die as humans, they will become a drone, so it makes sense that the drones will have to be a little bit weaker than humans in that mode. Now, if you ever have played the old version of Drones, you might have come across the arena mode there, and if you have played it a few times, you probably know the zone was incredibly bugged out there. You sometimes got damaged by it without even being in the damage area of the zone. And that was also due to that the whole system, how I made the zone work there, was completely retarded. I think I used an animation and then a network animator to sync the animation. Yeah. Anyways, what I've done now is I've learned a bit about linear interpolation, since I used it to smooth out the gap between incoming movement data packets about the remote client's positions. So I used linear interpolation to move the zone, so I don't have to use an animation. And this also gives me much more control. I can now change how long the zone will take to shrink to the minimum. just by changing a time value. In the old version, I would have had to change the entire animation. And also, I've done a few tests, and it doesn't seem bugged at all, so it works great. And of course, I've also I think I've already shown that in an earlier devlog that I've made post-processing effects that if you're outside the arena zone, the way how the scene gets rendered will change, so you definitely notice. And another thing I've changed with this version's arena mode is the zone has now a few points where it can technically spawn, so it will be semi-randomized where the zone will actually end, not like in the old version where it always was at the same spot. And since the arena mode is a game mode where you can't respawn till the round is over, I've of course made a spectator system, so people don't have to be sitting in their dev cam screen, which was the case for a pretty long period of time in the old version. At some point I added a spectator system there, but it was pretty bugged. This one was also pretty bugged when I first tested with it, but I think I've fixed everything now, and it works fine. And last but not least, I've implemented a system for breakable objects. For now, only the windows that can be shot, then they fall into pieces. Although there seems to be a little bug there, if a client disconnects and rejoins, the windows aren't there for some reason. I'll have to look into that, but that shouldn't be a too hard fix to do. Anyways, I think that was pretty much everything I could think of right now. I've probably forgotten a lot of stuff since the last devlog is really a long time ago, and I have really done a lot of work in the game since then. So, I said in the last devlog I would try to make devlogs more often, but I was never really motivated to make a devlog, and I thought I would just spend the time on working more on the game, which also is a nice alternative, I think. Anyways, thanks for watching, and see you in the next one. Bye.